Have I told you I got a Bobby Portis photo in my phone from the bowels of United Center? Might have been 2018, 2019, night before the Minnesota Vikings played the Chicago Bears. Yours truly, John Ekstrom, Spearfish Sammy, and Gabe. No, Spearfish Sammy, Ekstrom, and yours truly. United Center. Say hello to Fred Hoiberg. The Toronto Raptors, sans Kawhi Leonard, subsequently beat Freddie's Chicago Bulls by either 48 or 58 points.
So I've heard that end of it because you were trying to catch up with Freddie.
Yeah.
But it was also a hideous loss. And at the time,
if Spearfish and or Ekstrom are listening right now, 10 of 10, they are smiling, but continue.
Well, I remember it was an awful loss. We wanted to console. We wanted to catch up or at least slap the back of a Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, he gave us the tickets right across from his bench.
But you got the butt kicked. We may have had jobs on the line. There may have been tenures with NBA franchises in jeopardy.
That's a bad deal.
In that moment. And the last thing Fred Hoiberg wanted to see was the three-chinned, single-eyebrowed announcer bebopping through the bowels of the United Center. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Actually, at that moment, the last thing he wanted to see was the general manager or the owner of the Chicago Bulls.
I always love that one.
Because Spearfish, Ekstrom, and yours truly, we head to the bowels of United Center on a Freddie-provided pass. We're going to go into his office, say hi to him. And, that was all of 15 seconds because they just got beat by 50. He sadly would lose his job with the Chicago Bulls within the next week. And he was apoplectic. You could look at his face. It looked like he just saw the proverbial ghost. So yours truly did not heed to the advice of talented and seasoned media relations moguls saying, you sure we want to go in there? You sure we want to go in there? Now, let's just go in and give a fist bump, maybe a hug. I don't know. Maybe I'll pray with them or something. They just got beat by 50. And we went in. Face. Looked like it just saw a symbolic ghost.
Yeah.
Quick fist bump. In there all of 20 seconds. All right, ma'am. Love you. Talk soon. Left. Walk down the hallway. In a little coat closet to the right. Hey, Kawhi. Hi. All right, appreciate you, ma'am. It was Kawhi Leonard. Didn't play in the game, but he was traveling with the Raptors. He's in this little tiny coat closet, and I'm a Kawhi Leonard fan. Hi, Kawhi. All right, man. Have a good rest of your season.
Down memory lane we go.
And then so we were supposed to take a left to depart, to head back to the team hotel, get ready to beat the Bears the next day. And erroneously, we made a right. Hey, there's Bobby Portis.
I always love that.
Right next to his car. Hey, Bobby, mind if I get a selfie? Nah, man, that's cool. All right, here we go. Boom! Selfie with Bobby Portis, who now is a member of the Miami Heat.
Down memory lane we go.
And Freddie coaches a high-end Nebraska Cornhuskers basketball team. And good morning.
Good morning. Please tell me that when you approached Bobby Portis, just getting in his car, night of work is over, he's going to head home.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Did the same thing with Devontae Adams after that Raiders preseason game. Like, Devontae, here's what I do for the Vikings. I've called all your games. I'm a fan from afar. Really happy you're out of the division. I know you just didn't play in this game. Mind if I take a selfie? Oh, cool, man. Took 2 of them. Might put that one on social media right now. Yeah. Devontae Adams, though.
So I've seen you interact with these guys over many years, and you're always super respectful and professional, but that's all good. But tell me that you said, Bobby Portis, I got all your albums.
I always love that one.
I was there when you opened for Bobby Womack at the Iowa State Fair and you covered Harry Hippie. What the hell you doing here, Bobby? Good to see you, all the wife and kids. Mind if I take a photo?
Have a great Christmas, Bobby.
Sam's like, oh, geez. John's like, okay, which way do we leave? Oh, down memory lane we go.
I want to talk about making that move, though. How about that move they made with Giannis?
Yeah.
Got to bring Bobby.
Yeah.
Going to need Bobby in South Beach.
I don't know who the Heat still have on their team. I mean, Giannis and Bobby Portis, grizzled veteran who executes his toil with cunning and guile. Well, they've been traded to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
We've had a trade, ladies and gentlemen. Copyright Howard Hewitt, Jody Watley, and Shalimar. Somebody decided to Make that move right now, baby. Giannis and Portis for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., something called Kasparis, and 3 first-round picks. How's anybody supposed to match something like that? And do the Heat even have people still on their team? I mean, seriously, might need to pull that roster up for a second, get ready for a
so they have
LFL
Bam.
champions start getting ready in June.
So do you like your front court with Bam and Giannis, don't you?
Oh, we got Bam. What am I thinking?
We got Bam.
We got Bam. We got Giannis.
But then
we got Davion Mitchell.
Well, that's the thing, though, is Norman Powell, Davion Mitchell,
Uncle Normie,
and Wiggs. Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, we got some players.
Rounding out the starting 5.
Yeah.
And they got that Pell Larson cat you were begging me to pick up on the waiver wire, LFL style.
But like I said,
wow,
who do the Milwaukee Bucks even have? They got Tyler Hero. They got Khalil Ware, who will give you 12 rebounds and 3 points every game. Jaime Jaquez Jr., he just executed his toil, perhaps with a ski mask. I mean, he had the Jaime Jaquez Jr. is a good 2-ish 3, small guard, small forward, off the bench. He can score. He's a pretty good rebounder.
Off the bench.
Passes it a little bit, but he's Jaime Jaquez Jr., and he just lost a hotly contested 6-man of the year race to Keldon Johnson.
I always love that one.
Michael Cooper, Kevin McHale, and Lou Williams with Jordan Clarkson are not blushing.
I
love how offended you are by that. It is legit one of the craziest 6-man of the year races we've seen in years.
Well, that's what happens when you care about your job.
Absolutely.
Yes! Yes, Amelia Nordhart has been cracked early in the 9 to noon presentation.
Florio, you can write what you want. It's okay.
All right, 3-2. So that's that. That's there. What about here? They made that move right now, baby. Julius, one good one, one bad one.
Yeah.
Ended with him not showing for Dane, Johnny K, and Jace, peppering him with good ones in the exit meeting interview. That kind of bugged me when he didn't show up for his exit meeting interview, but it shouldn't have bugged us because it was the ultimate tell. I'm so done, and this probably was his perspective, and if the Timberwolves were not done with him, they probably would not have traded him. Julius Randle, by the way, traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Nick Claxton was involved in the deal. We ended up with a couple of picks out of it, some salary relief. We'll get into all that momentarily. But when he skipped that exit meeting, that was kind of his high-key way of saying, this ain't it. I'm just done with it, and I want to move. And now he moved. He had a good season. He had a bad season. Stiff-armed Dane, Johnny K, and Jace with the exit interview. And I feel a big part of things with Julius Randle here. Started going pear-shaped versus Oklahoma City last year when they schemed him into so many three-point shots and misses in the Western Conference Finals. It felt like we signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope under the cover of darkness.
I always love that one.
When did we get KCP? Bulldog Beast at times. Bulldog Beast at times. Even last year. I mean, Bulldog Beast. That's Julius Randle. I mean, shoot. I called a Wolves game on the radio a couple of seasons ago. There was no Wemby. Castle was a rookie. And I recall Julius completely dominating Parker Fox's favorite 6-man of the year, Keldon Johnson.
I always love that one.
But so Julius had moments like that, obviously. The constant aura this year was just like, this just ain't it for whatever the reason. And that's yours truly writing discernment and with no steam or knowledge. Just an association observer back to Elvin Hayes against Dr. J. And I remember it was Kenny Loggins singing, "This Is It," into the 79 NCAA tournament, one shining moment game between the hick from French Lick, Larry Bird, and the Indiana State Sycamores, and Irvin Magic Johnson from East Lansing, Michigan, and here come the Spartans. So that's just the discernment of somebody who's followed the association and the good players for quite some time. The constant aura was just like, Like, just, I mean, you want to be here, man? So now he's gone, and that's fine. And we have 2 picks, end of round 1, early round 2, I believe. We dump salary. The return of Ayo Dosunmu seems imminent, and I'm a massive fan of that part of the equation, assuming it takes place. Ayo needs to be in the covenant. Ayo will be in the covenant. Massive fans here 9 to noon of Ayo Dosunmu. But what about Kyrie? What about Zion? I'm a Zion guy. Maybe Wemby trembles in games against Zion.
I always love that one.
Zion's never had an Anthony Edwards with him. I love B.I., but he ain't Anthony. And by the way, who started the Derek White's team? Like, what's the origin of that? Johnny K at 940. And that totally rocks because he's smart and old school, best school. But who started the Derek White's team? Do we have enough assets and money to get Derek White? Do we have enough money and assets to get 2 of them? How about Derek White and Zion?
I always love that one.
Full throttle, high key, full throttle, high key. How about this? When DiVincenzo's healthy, Derek White, Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Zion Williamson. Squad! Make that move, Finchy, Mbappe. You were saying?
Well, just, and I think it was Sam Amick who may have begun he may have started or been a part of the conversation, and we'll get it, and maybe we'll get some, I assume we'd get some clarification from Johnny K on that at 9:40.
Oh, I'm asking.
But you get the Dosunmu deal done. It's 5 and 112 for Ayo.
Oh, it's done?
And I would,
is it done?
I would check in. I would check in with, I like the way that Dane Moore breaks it down, because whether it's apron, it's tax, it's luxury, it's all of that, is still the idea of how this thing impacts with the trade exception, because last night, kind of the initial, it's like, hold on. We just gave up Julius Randle, and I think when you see some of these trades happening, and Claxton goes to Chicago, you needed the 3rd team to get it done. You give up pick 28 and Julius, but then you also get pick 33 back. I think that's actually a positive.
Think we didn't.
And so, but as part of that, you got this $30 million hanging out. What's next? And so that's the question. And are we big game hunting? What can we fit into that $33-ish million pocket that we have just taken on? So
that's the question.
Yeah, I can't.
What about Kyrie?
What about Kyrie?
Johnny Athletic, what about Finchy? What about Kyrie?
And so for me, just kind of the patience on this is I need my Dane Moores of the world and my Johnny Krasinskis to really flesh out and explain to a rube like myself, like, here's what we can actually do with that. There's a mid-level exception in the mix, and I wonder if is that now gone because of the Ayo deal, et cetera.
Man.
But
yeah, that's right. But I'm going to know about anything about those aprons and the money we have left over and the nuts we're storing off on the side when I don't even know Ayo Dosunmu was re-signed.
I always love it.
I'm really going to read those boring stories.
But now if you're a Wolves fan, and I'm right in this boat with those of you listening to 9 to noon on a Talker Tuesday.
I think you're not.
Is what about Rudy? What is the true flexibility, and what are the moves? I mean,
why you got to run Rudy out of town?
Well, I'm not necessarily running him out of town, but that has been part of the conversation. Is now with Julius gone, the potential expectation is that Naz Reid, for the first time in his career, is going to walk into camp this fall.
Yeah, at least Naz Reid looks me in the eyes, unlike some ancillary pieces in my life.
As a member of the starting 5. So you have, okay, what do we do with the Julius cash? Looking forward to seeing how that fleshes out. And then are we just done? Is that it? So we fill that space with the Zion you're talking about, or a Ja, or whoever it is. Derek White. I love Derek White, by the way. But to that end, then, okay, so now it's just new player. Naz is starting. And Rudy, and we just go that way. And then Berenger just continues to grow. We watch kids being raised on the fly, and we go from there. Or is Rudy still potentially something that the team is efforting to move? But it's crazy how when these things happen, they happen so quickly. And, you know, in addition to just kind of watching this unfold for the Howl, I wonder if there are any Wolves fans who really, really wanted Giannis. Like, I wouldn't love Giannis on this team. And you see what the Miami Heat had to give up to get Giannis,
and they got to pay him.
They got to pay him. That was, I mean, just unbelievable. The currency, and we're sitting around going, I don't know. I mean, is Jaden McDaniels going to be in the deal? Is that a conversation ender? And do we have a number of first round picks, etc.? I mean, they freaking gave up the house. And this franchise, by the way, down in Miami, they have now at one point they went big in on Shaq. They went big in on LeBron, taking talents to South Beach.
Yeah.
And now the Greek Freak.
We got a title out of it, though, taking those talents to South Beach with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, didn't they?
And 06 with Shaq and D. Wade. But to that end,
you're over there paying LeBron, and I'm paying D. Wade.
I always love that one.
What's going on with Thanasis? What's going on with his brother? Did the Greek Freak have a choice, like, as part of this deal?
Well, they got to bring him because now they have Brady and Matthew Tkachuk.
Absolutely, it's brotherly love in South Beach.
Watch the Lightning finagle their way to the Felinos.
What about Thanasis? Thanasis is sitting up in Milwaukee, like I don't even.
Thanasis sounds like a character in Game of Thrones.
Like, guys, I don't even like beer.
Like Khaleesi and her fastest dragon are about ready to whoop somebody's bottom, fastest or whatever, not so fast, fastest.
Like Michigan's fine, but there's like snow. Giannis, I want to come down to South Beach with you. Can I come with?
Well, I mean, it's the brotherly love aspect of it is touchy-feely, and it's very heartwarming, and I'm in on it. But let's get to the brass tacks. The only reason younger brother was on the team is because big brother was on it.
I always love that one.
I mean, now he's starting to look at, like, studios in Prague that have extra king-size beds to see what he can do over there in Europe. Squad! Derek White, Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Zion Williamson. Finchy, pinch me. Finchy, pinch me, and make all that happen. And then Ayo off the bench of Aaron J. Terrence Shannon Jr. He'll play more for sure. Bones, though. It's NBA draft day, and I got a name. I'm going to share that name a little later during the course of the radio show.
Ooh.
If the Minnesota Timberwolves keep both of those late first, early second picks, or if they just keep one, I got a name. What else? Is Papa Ghana here tomorrow?
He's here at 11.
Did you discuss his native Ghana much last week?
I did quite a bit, yeah.
Well, that's great. All right, cool. Talkbacks courtesy of Northern Fire. Tell us more about that.
Talkbacks, Northern Fire. It is a Talker Tuesday brought to you by Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply. So every Tuesday we do talkers, talkbacks. I mean, make that move right now. Many things to talk about with the Wolves in the NBA, with the draft and such. But you use that microphone on the free iHeartRadio app. One of you at the end of the show is going to win a $25 gift card to Northern Fire. You can use it in their store in Minnetonka, or go to northernfirebbq.com. Stock up on some rubs, spices, sauces, anything you want. Grills, smokers, they got it all at Northern Fire.
It's part of the Timber Tech What's on Deck set list for 9 to noon today, which includes Johnny Krasinski from The Athletic and theathletic.com 20 minutes from now. Good day to have Johnny Athletic. Julius Randle has been traded. He gets to be a Brooklyn Net. Also, Ben Gessling at 10 o'clock, Sorsby's Team, Part 2. Talkbacks during the course of the radio show. It's an NBA draft day, and the Hal traded a top player. Yes, they get the A-topic talkback, but there's Sorsby steam on the horizon, and I think those with a discerning ear will like those segments. NBA draft day, though, 28 and 33. 28 and 33, right?
28 and 33.
28 and 33.
Well, they gave up 28. They have 33 now.
Are we going to get 28 back?
No, we gave 28 to to the Nets as part of the Randall trade, and we received 33 in return.
Crazy.
So we moved back 5 spots.
The 6'7" Spanish guard, probably not available at 33, but I'll take him. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. You're listening to FM 100.3 KFAN on a Talk Back Talker Tuesday, courtesy of Northern Fire, and delivered from FM 100.3 KFAN.
You're listening live to Paul.
Basketball aggregators are at it. What a world. What a world. Just clicked on something on X. ESPN reports Anthony Edwards frustrated after Towns trade, drawing trade interest. All right. Now, Karl Anthony Towns was traded, October 2024, something like that. But this is like an aggregated paragraph from a bunch of different sources. However, it begins like this, and that's what drew me in. ESPN's Brian Windhorst, all right, 3-2. ESPN's Brian Windhorst and Tim McMahon. Now, that's 1.5 heavy hitters right there.
Yeah.
And
you mean just Windhorst?
Well, Windhorst is 1.25. The guy I haven't heard of is a quarter.
It's a little hypocritical on my part, but
they revealed. I mean, this is under the assumption this is accurate, but it's an aggregated bit from stories from days gone by and current stories and stuff. So we're gonna roll with it. They revealed Edwards soured after the October 2024 deal that sent Towns to the Knicks for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a pick, a move driven by luxury tax pressures. Randle's recent salary dump to Brooklyn offered no upgrade, just cap relief.
Yeah.
Leaving Edwards isolated as rival executives eye him as a potential trade target. Minnesota holds core pieces like Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, and Rudy Gobert. Added Ayo Dosunmu, but lacks a second star amid whispers of past exits like Kevin Garnett and Karl Anthony Towns. Go ahead and doubt Jaden McDaniels. And speaking of the tweet machine, right before that, just a crazy tweet here. It's from at The Hoop Central. At The Hoop Central.
Okay.
I don't know where Jaden McDaniels is because I didn't read into it, but it's somewhere abroad. Could be China, could be South America, could be Africa. There's a rainforest. And there's a video. But a rube rolled up to Jaden McDaniels and gave him the news Julius Randle was traded.
I always love that one.
And Jaden looked at him and said, "Are you for real?"
I always love that one.
And then stepped away and looked into his phone and walked the other way. I mean, what a moment to catch Jaden McDaniels abroad. Rube Nation, one of the 9 to noon reporters, informing Jaden McDaniels that Julius Randle had been traded.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Julius is like, well, nice of him to consult with me.
I always love that one.
Then there's a Timberwolves X account I follow, at Wolves Muse. Timberwolves Muse, at Wolves Muse. Right. Knowing Giannis was willing to sign an extension here, so we do know that? Okay, I'm going to go with that Timberwolves Muse. Knowing Giannis was willing to sign an extension here, this person would have given anything not named Anthony Edwards to bring him in. I can understand if the front office had concerns about age/injuries, but man, you don't get those kind of opportunities very often. And I understand that, but let's also lay out the contextual nature of what has happened. Giannis was traded from the Milwaukee Bucks with a player, Bobby Portis, who I don't think we have a comp here for Bobby Portis. I mean, Jaden, because he probably has been in the league 15 years. Doesn't play every game, but tough. Gives you everything he has, and he helps. So he has some 6th, 7th man to him, Bobby Portis, along with Giannis. I don't know Naz Reid is better than Bobby Portis.
That would be the comp, wouldn't it?
And certain facets of the game.
Big man that'll hit a corner three once in a while, grab some boards.
Bobby Portis is a better rebounder than Naz Reid, even though he's...
But I think Reed's a better passer. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're turning...
Maybe the Vlade Divac ain't blushing, let's put it that way. But Bobby Portis will hit some threes. Naz hits a lot of threes. So maybe that is the comp. But Milwaukee got Tyler Hero, Colel Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., who... This side of Ayo Dosunmu and Naz Reid is better than every bench player we have. So he's better than Terrence Shannon Jr. He probably makes more too. Something called Kasparis something, and 3 first-round picks. So, I mean, how do you match that if you wanted Giannis to come here? Giannis and or Portis. So, appreciate the tweets. And we have talkbacks that we're going to get into here momentarily.
Well, here's one thing, though. You said, I forget who posted that. Maybe it was Wolves Muse.
Timberwolves Muse.
So totally in on. The only thing that I would disagree with is you don't get the chance to do this very often. The way this train's moving.
How about that first part about Anthony Edwards, like teams sniffing around the howl for Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, sniff. Of course they're sniffing. Of course they are. He is a young superstar, and they want to know how much it's going to cost. Of course they are. But these things, it feels like these things, and maybe it was LeBron that started it. We were just talking about the Heat. Maybe you can go back a bit farther and use Shaq as a great example. The career and the titles he built in L.A., and then now he's winning a title with D. Wade and the Heat 20 years ago. These guys, this is going to become the trend. It feels like every single year. Look at Kyrie's career and how that's played out. And the fact that we're talking about how we could acquire his services. Giannis is an all-timer. There's no doubt about it. But it just feels like next year there's going to be another guy that's potentially disgruntled and might want to go somewhere else and might love the idea of playing with Anthony Edwards. We're seeing it in the NHL right now where players are taking more control and onus over the teams they play for, maybe more than ever, actually requesting trades. We're seeing that. There's going to be a big-timer next year. There's going to be a big-timer the year after that. And this is going to become normalcy, I think. And frankly, I think it already kind of is on a yearly basis where there's going to be that big, shiny toy up for grabs. And do you want to change the entire face of your franchise to get him? Miami Heat paid a lion's share.
Yeah.
And frankly, I mean, it's crazy. I'd love Giannis on this team. They paid a lot. We'll just say that. Well, I think they paid a lot for Mr. Antetokounmpo.
Well, Milwaukee with Hero, I mean, and Tyler's had injury problems of late, can be very dynamic. You know, not big on the defensive end, but that's
I think they needed to keep him.
Well, what is Milwaukee doing here?
Yeah.
Milwaukee's bottoming out.
Right.
Okay. What did OKC do to become OKC? Bottomed out. Didn't make the playoffs for like 6 years. San Antonio Spurs didn't make the playoffs for like 6 to 8 years. Started housing those picks. Brooklyn Nets been trying to do that for 15 years. They can't seem to get it right. And when did Nick Claxton become the centerpiece of a deal? That's weird. But that's analogous to the situation here with Minnesota, where that plays into right when the Wolves and the Wild were dead. The 9 to noon proclamation is, what does it get you when you're good, but you're not good enough? And at certain times you can be bad, but you're just not bad enough.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that with John Krasinski next.
This is 9 to noon.
Welcome back. This is 9 to noon. It is a Talker Tuesday. Much about which to chat. And the A topic, Timberwolves trading Julius Randle day before NBA draft day. Joining us now, preeminent Wolves and NBA beat writer, John Krasinski from The Athletic and theathletic.com. Good morning, John.
Good morning, PA. How are you doing?
Pretty well. Twitter handle, please.
At JONKRAWCZYNSKI.
Can you repeat the part of this stuff where you said all about the things?
Minimal surprise, right? They peddled Julius.
Yeah, minimal surprise on that, PA. I think everyone going into this summer believed that they had to do something in the front court with Julius or Rudy or both to try and kind of give this starting lineup a different look going into next year. Certainly a bit of a surprise, I think, that they ended up just essentially making him a salary dump and not getting anything in return. But I think it speaks to two things. One is I don't think that the market was particularly strong for Julius Randle. I don't think there were a lot of teams offering up, plus talent to try and acquire him. And secondly, the moves that they made will probably get into the financial weeds a little bit on it, but it did open up some flexibility for them to do other things in free agency, sign Ayo Dosunmu, do other things to kind of keep the ball moving forward. So a little surprised at exactly how it went down, but certainly not surprised at all that Julius Randle is no longer on the team.
So unpack that a little bit. What do you think of a haul coming this way?
So, yeah, I mean, they moved back 5 spots in the draft from 28 to 33 to move Julius Randle into the Brooklyn Nets cap space. I think that, that's a very minimal fallback in terms of the draft. The difference between 28 and 33 tonight and tomorrow is going to be fairly negligible in terms of talent. But what it does is now it gets them underneath the luxury tax. And so, by unloading all that $33 million in Julius Randle and not taking any money back, they now are not in an area where they get penalized for making other moves. So, for instance, they get the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception, and I know that's a mouthful, but essentially it means they have another $15 million to spend on the open market. You can go get a guy like Quentin Grimes. You could go get, any number of kind of players out there who would kind of slot into that $15 million range and can be a real rotational player for you. And they wouldn't have been able to do that if they were in the luxury tax and the luxury taxpayer. So, they also, now have had a little bit extra money to pay Ayo Dosunmu. He makes $22 million a year now.
Yep.
I think some people thought that would be in that $18-19 million range. And so they just have a little bit more breathing room with which to operate in terms of their roster building going forward here.
You're an elite NBA mind. Is it possible at this stage to cast your gaze forward, obviously, with what the general manager has planned, like what the newest big picture is here?
So, yeah, I think that Wolves fans in general, when a move like this happens, will kind of look at it in that move and say, well, okay, this is it. This was their big move. This was all that they were going to do. But I do think it's important to understand that this is going to be a process over the next days and a couple of weeks here for them to finish building out their roster. So Tim Connolly can go out now and look at making another trade, can look at signing another player or two to kind of round out the roster. And so I do not think he is done by any stretch of the imagination. He is just getting started, essentially, with what they're going to do to kind of reshape this roster to try and get this team right back, near the Thunder and the Spurs. And moving Julius Randle out was step one, but there's going to be several other steps in this process for them to kind of navigate this whole thing.
There's somebody listening to us right now named Henry Weinberg, who just tweeted both of us. I like the question. I might replace the name. Johnny K, how would you feel about trading Rudy and this new $33 million in trade exception for Jaylen Brown? Is this even possible? I would change the name to Derek White, but what do you think of either one?
Mm-hmm. Well, so I have reported that the Wolves have been pretty aggressive in trying to get Derek White from Boston.
Hey.
So far in this process, the Celtics have been reluctant to part with him. I think that it will be interesting to see how they operate going forward, because one of the reasons I believe, PA, that they were reluctant to part with Derek White is that they thought they were in the Giannis sweepstakes, and they thought eventually they were going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they wanted Derek White to play with Giannis. And so now that Giannis is in Miami, maybe that changes the calculus for Boston a little bit. Derek White's still a really good player. I think they still value him, but that could loosen things up, for Derek White in this process. With Jaylen Brown, that's a very, very big salary that the Wolves would have to take on. I would be interested to see. I think it would take more than Rudy, is what I would tell you, PA.
Yeah, I like it.
Would it, and so then you get into, okay, are you bringing in a star player and liquidating some of that depth? One thing I'll tell you, Anthony Edwards and Jaylen Brown are both Atlanta guys. They have a lot of respect for each other, so I think there's some intrigue in that part of it, but there are a lot of things that would have to happen to make that plausible and possible. I'll never say never on it. I won't do that, but it's just going to be, that would be a very, very big swing for the Wolves to make right now.
Jaylen and Anthony play the same position, don't they?
I mean, no, Jaylen can play the 3 or the 4 really as well. He's big enough and strong enough. He's guarded 3s and 4s. So I think that if they were, again, pipe dream kind of thing, if they were to bring in Jaylen Brown, you could play Ant at the 2, Jaden at the 3, and Jaylen Brown at the 4 and be pretty good with that. He is a rugged defensive player. He rebounds. He can guard multiple positions, so I wouldn't be concerned about that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It almost feels like fans had kind of soured on him, or it just became inevitable that they would move him after the way he carried that team without Tatum. But Derek White. So how do you look at a player like that, how he's fit into Boston, and maybe if he did become a member of the Timberwolves, would his role expand or change at all? Because I love what I've seen from Derek out in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, he's I think he would fit exactly the same role here in terms of a super high IQ player, comes in, makes winning plays great defense, allows you to be a little bit more creative in deploying Jaden McDaniels defensively. You wouldn't just have to use him as a point of attack defender all of the time. He could be a rim protector. He could kind of roam along that back line and be a force that way. And, and just a championship stamped dude who is, everyone raves about his makeup, the culture that he brings, and on a team that needs to get smarter, Derek White is one of the smarter players in the league. And so I that would all be great fits. It's also a reason that he's a great fit in Boston. And so, I think it would take some convincing to get the Celtics to part with him, but as I said, the Wolves have been trying to do that.
What John Krasinski, John the Athletic, theathletic.com, just all over NBA trading and the draft and stuff like that. And it's great to have him. It's 9:50. Good morning. Would you consider Derek White a true point guard, or is he a tweener?
Yeah, no, he's a tweener for sure. He's not like the prototypical Mike Conley quarterback of an offense, but what we do know is he has played combo guard on a championship winning team, and I think he's a championship player. And so if you put him next to Anthony Edwards, I think one, that could be an incredibly dynamic defensive backcourt with so much size and toughness and strength. But two, I just think that you would see a guy that would fit in and figure out a way to make things work, even if he is not John Stockton. And so I just think he's such a smart guy. And the Wolves would have talent around him that he could adapt to whatever the Wolves needed from him. He can handle the ball. He can get you into offense. He can knock down open shots. He can just do a lot of things that way, even if it's not, the Bob Cousy style that some people might look for.
Yeah, he's my favorite shot blocking guard in the NBA. Like Amen Thompson has become the best rebounding guard in the NBA because they play him at guard and he's so tall. Derek White just so good blocking those shots. Now, to land the plane here and get on to different stuff for a few minutes, on draft day, so Johnny K's busy, does this have life? I mean, you're not going to report it, you're not going to write about it, you're not going to tweet about it if it doesn't have some form of life. But after this Giannis, Portis, Hero, Ware, 3 first-round picks deal, I mean, those who follow it and care about it are starting to think about this. How much life does this have?
I'm not following, PA, in terms of what?
Trading for Derek White.
Oh, trading for Derek White. Sorry. I think so one thing to look at now with where the Timberwolves sit, with where the league sits, I said it on Barrero last night, a lot of the league was sitting around and not doing deals because they were waiting for the Giannis shoe to drop. And so now that that has happened, I do think you are going to see the regular business of the NBA pick up going into the draft tonight, even when teams are on the clock, all of those things. And so it is going to be easier to have real substantive conversation, whether it's about Derek White, whether it's about any number of players that are out there for the Wolves to go target and try to get. I think there was just a sense that the entire league was sitting on its hands, just waiting to see where Giannis went and what happened with it and what picks are going where and all that. And so now that the toilet has been unclogged, now we can just go about our business. And so I do know that Tim Connolly is continuing to work the phones. He's continuing to look at what deals are available out there. And I do think it'll be easier to find dance partners now that we don't have anyone lining up to wait for this Giannis thing to go through.
What do you think this opportunity to start means to Naz Reid from Sixth Man of the Year? And you've written a ton on this over time, including your recent piece about this trade. But Naz potentially in line here to be a starter really for the first time in his career, all the work and the patience that he has shown and now being trusted with a spot in the starting five and maybe looking a little different in that spot than a Julius Randle would have.
Yeah, Nordo, I do think he's really looking forward to it. I think that's something that he's wanted for a very long time. And credit to Naz Reid, first of all, because he took a backseat to Karl Anthony Towns. He took a backseat to Julius Randle, and he was the good soldier through all of that. And now he's being rewarded with a real opportunity. I know that a lot of fans have been really excited about the prospect of seeing Naz Reid in the starting lineup. I will say that I do think, especially in the regular season, fans might notice a little bit about what they're missing from Julius Randle, just the consistency, the production that he gave for a lot of it. And so there will be an adjustment period for that. But I think moving Naz into the starting lineup, he's a better shooter than Randle. I think you will see more space in the offense for Anthony Edwards, which is a good thing. The second thing is he makes much quicker decisions than Randle. Randle could pound the ball in isolation a lot. Naz will move the ball a lot quicker. And so I think that will breathe some air into the offense as well. We'll see how it works defensively. But for Naz to get this opportunity, I'm sure he's just over the moon about it. And then the second part is it also opens the door for Jaden McDaniels to be the second option. He took strides offensively last year, but now he's going to get a lot more shots and a lot more opportunities. And this is a big bet on Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels being able to take an even another step in their development and really emerge as top flight supporting cast for Anthony Edwards.
Are you hearing anything about Zion Williamson potentially being traded for by Minnesota?
I have not, PA. I don't think that that's a realistic option. I'm intrigued. I would be intrigued by it for sure. But it sounds like New Orleans wants to keep him and keep, trying to see if there's anything more that they can get out of him. If you could keep Zion Williamson healthy, he'd be an amazing fit. Just as a playmaker, as a bull in a china closet, type of a player. And even the biggest benefit is you wouldn't have to play against him, and Zion always kills the Timberwolves. So, but I think that when you look at the landscape of the league and where the Wolves might go next, I don't think that they're going to look to add a big necessarily, because they also want to keep some space open for Johan Bernier to play next year. Now with Randle gone, you have Rudy, Johan, and Naz, and that's a three-headed monster that you can at least create 15 minutes a game for Johan, and that's important for his development.
So with the draft today, did they like have a draft party planned, and then now they have to reschedule it for tomorrow in the second round?
I don't think there was a party. I mean, we still will, I think us in the media will all be at the headquarters tonight to see if anything happens, see if they trade up back into the first round. Who knows?
Right.
But it certainly has become less exciting. It was already going to be a little mundane, with them sitting at 28, but now that they're out of it completely right now, there might be a lot of just sit around and, kind of staring at each other and waiting for something to happen. But we'll see. You never know. Tim's pretty aggressive with how he tries to do things, so I wouldn't be shocked if he finds a way to get back into the first round and pick someone up if someone that they like is falling.
So you think it's proper to take one of those fat Sharpies and just cross out Kyrie Irving's name? I mean, especially if Gobert, if Gobert would be in the mix. I think they still got Gafford and Lively and all those bigs and everything. So just Kyrie dead, right?
I think so, yeah. And Dallas has been pretty vocal about saying they don't want to move Kyrie. They want Kyrie to play with Cooper Flagg and kind of have a real point guard to help Cooper develop even more. It is a little interesting, though, PA, that they hired Dusty May, the head coach from Michigan, to come in there, and that really does kind of scream to me that they are going full-on development and not really trying to win next year. They want to grow with a young coach and a young star forward in Cooper Flagg. And so maybe I could see something happening during the season with Kyrie Irving, PA, and kind of maybe the Mavericks decide in December or January, hey, we're going to move on from him. But I do think that right now there isn't much indication that Kyrie Irving is available. The Wolves have tried to get something going there and have had no luck. Any
to close, time for two more, any wild card names for trade or free agency or anything like that? I mean, outside of the regurgitated ones, because there's been steam like Kyrie and Derek White and Giannis and things like that. Any wild cards for us, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I am really intrigued by this mid-level exception that they now have carved out for themselves. And so, barring some major trade, Jaylen Brown or whoever else that you could go after, Kyrie Irving or any of those guys, now you're looking at a rotation level player who can come in and give you minutes while Dante DiVincenzo is out. I like the idea of Quentin Grimes a lot. He's a really good shooter, a good enough size to help you a little bit defensively coming off the bench, giving you a little bit more scoring punch. And so, if I were to have a pick right now, that's someone that I would look at and say he makes a lot of sense here. If the Wolves can kind of convince him to come. Tim Hardaway Jr., another one who's had some really good games against the Wolves, played well for Denver last year. Wouldn't probably cost the full mid-level, I don't think, but another guy who could come in, hit threes for you, just open up the offense a little bit more, get a little more shooting around Anthony Edwards. I don't think that's a bad thing.
The draft today, first round, lastly, what do you think with your elite drafting mind, or the ones you respect? What are they saying about the draft's first round this year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of optimism, especially right at the top, PA, when you look at kind of some of those guys, the DeBansas, the Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson. I think there's a belief that two or three of those guys could be just all-star level, face of the franchise type players. As you get down into the meat of the draft, into 10 through 20, there's just interesting guys that I like a lot. LeBaron Filan, who the Wolves brought in curiously this weekend to work out. He's a scoring guard that is really interesting to me. There's a kid from Spain, Sergio De La Rea, if I'm pronouncing that right. That's a big playmaking guard. I'm intrigued by a lot of these guys. I think there's some good fits out there, and then right at the top, I think there's a belief it could be really good.
That 6'7" Spaniard feels like you need to get to the middle of the 20s, maybe 23, 24 to get him. I don't steamroll like Johnny K, who's the best, but I have heard some good things about Sergio De La Rea. 6'7" Spanish guard. He's super aggressive and fast too. My man, greatly appreciate the time on a very busy day, and have fun today. Okay.
All right, thanks, PA.
See you, bud. John Krasinski, John The Athletic, theathletic.com. That was our Steve's Appliances Marathon segment, ladies and gentlemen. 4th of July sale with lowest prices of the season on the very best appliances. Plus, fast delivery, free recycling, and guaranteed low prices. It's a small business. It's a standalone store, and 9 to noon always requests you support them. that type of leadership and that type of enterprising nature. Stevesappliances.com, stevesappliances.com, 7,000 square foot showroom in Mounds View. Start at stevesappliances.com. Lowest prices of the season. It's a 4th of July sale. To football with the Scribe next.
This is 9 to noon on the Fan.
From the